When I was working with my coach a couple of years ago, I very quickly understood how easy we can be programmed to be anxious, on the high end with panic attacks as I had. So I can speak to this. In my 30s, I had panic attacks and anxiety, performance anxiety, all the anxieties known to man. And then in my 40s, I just didn't have the confidence where I needed it to be. I hesitated. I worried about what other people thought. I couldn't do these videos. I wasn't confident doing them. I couldn't speak to people. The interesting thing is that when you're in front of somebody, at a subconscious level, they're reading your energy. They can pick up on subtle nuances very quickly, but they've got no clue this is even happening. This is the vibes we get from somebody. Like you just get an off vibe from somebody and you're like, well shit, I'm just not sure about this person. You get an off vibe. But here's the thing. They could be having a bad day and you're reading into that energy, and that's not fair. That's not fair, because this person could be a really good dude but just having a bad day. But that's the energy that we're reading. So you have to know how to circumvent that, and it's ever so simple. Now, I'll give you an example soon, but you just have to take on board the idea it's our physiology. Because when we feel anxious, we'll have anxious thoughts. And the same is true when we have this zest, this enthusiastic energy for life. And that's what people are attracted to. They're attracted to this energy that we put out. Enthusiastic zest for life. And when you get, when you feel zest and enthusiastic, you become naturally curious. And this leads to your purpose in life. So, an example of this. Reading a book by Robert Sapolsky, and this dude is extremely smart, scientist professor. And the book was called Behave, if you want to check it out. Fantastic read, especially when it comes to controlling your physiology. Now, he was talking about a study, and it was just fascinating to see how we can get these signals mixed up and assign it to, say, anxiety incorrectly, or assign it to, say, love incorrectly. The brain is good, but we have to step in and vector it to the right emotion. Because if we assign it to the wrong emotion, this is when our shit gets all screwed up. This is when bad things happen in our life. We can program in, the brain does, not you, hesitation, anxiety, all that crap that doesn't allow us to experience life at its fullest. So this example, they got people and they had this bridge that the people had to cross, and they went over one at a time. Now, in the middle of this bridge, there was an attractive female researcher that stopped them and asked them some questions. But this bridge was dangerous. It was a bit wobbly, so the people were a bit scared, anxious, right? They were a bit anxious walking across. Their heart rate was elevated. Now, this researcher stopped them, asked them some questions, and then they went on their merry way across the bridge. And unbeknownst to them, at the end of, when they got across the bridge, another researcher asked them more questions, a few questions, but one of them was, please rate the attractiveness of that female. And because their heart was racing, right, they assigned it to love, like this person was much more attractive. Now, this is where it gets fascinating and interesting. They gave the people beta blockers, right? So their heart wouldn't race. The same experiment, the same researcher, and asked the same questions. They got across the bridge. The researcher asked them again those questions and said to rate her attractiveness. And they didn't rate her attractiveness as high because they weren't getting this feedback from the heart. Now, that speaks immensely, profoundly to how we can circumvent these mixed signals that we are getting from our physiology, right? If you feel anxious, that is excited energy. And we can transform that excited energy into zest and enthusiastic energy for life. So we We rise to challenges. And when that happens, we're not drained emotionally. Our mood stays up where it needs to be. People are attracted to this zest, this energy that we're putting out. So if you want to learn how to do that, I've got 3 principles, and once you learn the first 2 principles, you're like, well, shit, this is easy, and this is what my coach taught me. And we can easily fix this. The first principle alone, all the light bulbs will go off your head, and you'll be like, well, damn, I can do this. I can do this. And the second principle, well, just get into the training, all right? So 3 principles. And at the end of the 3 principles, 2 steps, 1 mindset, go. And then that will change your base physiology, and you'll know how to take life on.